Keep yourself in the loop of everything football. Listen to Alex and Jeremiah on the Golden State Media Concepts Football Podcast.
Hello there, I'm Jeremiah.
I am Alex, always and forever here.
Dedicated to college and NFL football. The latest football news on and off the field. NFL draft trade rumors. We've got you covered from the NFL, Big Ten, SEC, Big 12, Pac-12, ACC, and everything else in between. Listen to the Golden State Media Concepts Football Podcast.
Thank you for tuning into the Golden State Media Concepts Football Podcast, where we talk the latest news, rumors, and games of the NFL and college football. From the latest signings to this year's breakout stars and all the news in between, as always, I'm Jeremiah.
And hey, I'm Alex, man. What's going on?
That's such a late...
Dramatic pause. I was looking up one of the things we're talking about. Just getting a little bit of information. Yeah,
okay.
Look at my computer.
You sure about that?
Yeah, I got to pause this video, though, but... Yeah.
Oh, so you're watching the video on
no,
the clock.
When I opened up this article about what we're going to talk about here in a second, the video started.
Okay. But yeah, hey, remember on the last episode when
what?
I talked about the theme song?
Our theme song?
Yeah, I think we have the best theme song on the network.
Do you really?
I think we do.
Well, is it because there's only two? I think it's ours and the UFC one.
The MMA one.
I'm sorry, MMA. Yeah, those are the only two that I made.
MMA one is okay.
I like the MMA one.
Yeah, I like the drums on there.
Thanks.
I like the drums. That was sick.
Thanks.
Now, coming as a guy that wanted to be a music producer, I liked it.
Did you really?
I did.
You play any instruments at all?
I used to play sax in band. I used to play the alto saxophone.
I played alto saxophone too.
You did?
One of the many instruments I play, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you play many instruments?
I played six.
What kind?
6 instruments. I played the guitar, the bass, the drums, the piano, the saxophone. It's 5.
Okay, I wanted to learn to play piano. Really,
it's
that's the one I
learned
to learn.
I learned music theory, so I learned how to read it.
Oh, okay.
So it's not too hard. I mean, it is, but once you learn theory, it makes it a lot easier. At least in terms of transposing stuff and kind of transferring it over. Once you can read, like theory, like basic notes and stuff, it makes it a lot easier. But then it's from there for you to.
Yeah.
It's like once you learn words and like say you're learning another language, say you're learning Spanish. Once you learn Spanish words, then it makes it easier to understand sentences. You know what I mean? So it's same concept.
Yeah, I always wanted to learn to play piano because I wanted to be Dr. Dre so bad. I wanted to make beats like him, and my music career just never took off. So I'm here with you now doing this, and I think my life's kind of better off now because I'm sitting here with you. Okay, but anyways, before we actually get started on today's show, I wanted to talk about wrestling for a little bit.
Okay.
I want to talk about The Rock. I guess on his Twitter, he was watching Football Life, I think on the one on Bruce Arians.
Have they done one on Arians yet? They might have. Or he was watching All or Nothing.
Or he was watching, well, no, because the tweet he has a video of Bruce Arians on a episode of Football Life. So I think it might have been of Arians...
he might have had one.
Commenting on a player or a coach that they did it on. I don't remember. I don't know which episode it is. But anyways, that's not the point. The clip shows Bruce Arians, and Rock tweeted, "Oh, I would love to play for this man. You got to risk it, no biscuit."
What?
Well, the hashtag.
You got to risk it to get the biscuit.
No. There's 2 hashtags.
Okay.
It said hashtag no risk it, hashtag no biscuit.
Oh,
and it has the arm emoji, the one flexing.
Of course it does, Rock.
With the 100 emoji. The 100 with the 2 lines underneath it, the 100 emoji.
I know exactly which one you mean.
I'm just sorry. I just wanted to say 100 one more time on the show. Okay. All right, moving on. Okay, we got lots of to talk about today. We got Denver Broncos and Von Miller exchanging talks and in negotiations. Eric Berry.
He's
one
of my favorite safeties in the league.
Yeah, he's not. Negotiations for him are not
going the way he expected.
No, they're going pretty slow.
Apparently so.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about Oakland Raiders quarterback Derek Carr and what a former quarterback have said. Okay.
Some recent comments of him being a gunslinger. So,
yes.
So one of the greatest gunslingers of all time is coming. Yeah, I'm gonna have a question when we talk about that too.
For you, yeah. For me.
For you.
Ooh,
it's gonna be kind of
it's
gonna be kind of a shot in the dark because you don't have any time to prepare for it, but just like a little.
All right, so you want to get started on Von Miller?
Yes. So Von Miller, and I mean, we're beating this like a dead horse, but they have until this Friday, July 15th, to get a deal done. If that does not happen, well, either he sits out this year or he accepts the franchise tag, in which he will make nowhere near the amount of money he would like to make. Pretty much, they have exchanged contracts so far. The most recent contract offer from the Broncos, Von Miller turned down. He said, "No, thank you, sir. I would not like that deal." So, they're going to keep trying to get this resolved. Like I said, they have until Friday. If his deal is not reached by then, his options are to hold out or to play the 2016 on the $14.129 million franchise tag. So, he's looking for, I mean, obviously we've been talking about this since it happened, Fletcher Cox's deal, and then now Andrew Luck with his deal. The big thing for Von Miller apparently coming out is guaranteed money. Excuse me. With Fletcher Cox landing $63.3 million in guarantees and $36.3 million up front, which is, pretty big. But Luck reeled in $44 million at the signing with $87 million in guarantees. Obviously, as we talked about on a couple episodes ago, GSMC podcast episode, so-and-so and so forth, the number, Andrew Luck's fat contract.
Fat, with the PH at the front.
We don't agree on that. But, they have till Friday. You think something's going to be able to get done here? What do you think?
Something has to get done. It's not,
Vaughn seems very okay sitting out.
Yeah, he really seems very content with sitting out, and I understand why. He thinks, what? He thinks he deserves this big guaranteed contract money, and I think he really does deserve it.
Yeah.
I'd rather have, when you look at Fletcher Cox's deal, Von Miller is worth more than $63 million to me.
If you're basing his deal off of, worth, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's a better player than Fletcher Cox.
Exactly. And then this is a guy that was Super Bowl MVP. He was a huge productive player, probably the most productive player on that defense.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Excluding maybe 1 or 2 games this year in the regular season.
So it's not rare. I think it's going to get done. I think it should be done.
I think everybody thinks it should be done. I think a lot of people outside of the situation think it's crazy that a deal hasn't gotten done.
I know. I can't believe it hasn't happened this long.
But then the people that know, Elway aren't surprised at all.
Because remember, we talked about this in a couple episodes ago. I think an episode I recorded last month. We thought the deal would have happened already. We think the him sitting out was a negotiation tactic.
Well, yes, we did think that.
So it kind of it's still a negotiation tactic, but he's still not getting that deal that he wants or deserves. Because he's not going to get $87 million. He's not.
That's quarterback money.
No,
right there.
he's not. He's not going to get that. But the $63 million, yeah, definitely. And think about it. Football is the game where you endure so much for your body, and he plays a position where he gets hit a lot, or he hits people a lot. He's putting his body on the line.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Even in training camp. 16 games, even though they play the least amount of games of anybody in the NBA, MLB, and NHL, they put their bodies on line every single day at practice and on the field on Sundays. So,
and this report came out on the 8th also, so that was before this weekend. So as far as I know, still no deal.
Yeah, I don't think the terms of the deal have been announced.
No, the only thing that was announced is they moved up the date for some of the non-guaranteed money and then non-fully guaranteed money at the signing to become fully guaranteed. But that sweetening of the pot is not sweet enough for Von Miller, quote, from the man that reported this. So it's going to be interesting to take a look at, It's going to be interesting to see what happens. I mean, I don't know if a deal's going to get done by Friday. It's Monday now.
Yeah.
They have 4 days.
If a deal doesn't happen by Wednesday,
it's overdrive.
I don't see it happening.
Okay. We'll have to keep our eyes on it. I mean, if a deal happens on Wednesday, we will be here to report it.
Do you know the actual time of day on Friday is supposed to get done?
I forget. don't know
It's
the
good,
time. I just
okay.
know the day. The
All right,
actual
Broncos. All right, Johnny. Well, you know what to do.
The clock's ticking.
The clock's ticking. You're on the clock now. You know what to do.
Go get your Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right, well, our clock's ticking, so it's time for our first break of the day. So we're going to take our first commercial break here at the Golden State Media Concepts Football Podcast. Jeremiah and I will be right back to talk about another contract and Eric Berry of the Chiefs. So we'll be right back, guys. Do not go anywhere.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
All right, and we're back here at the Golden State Media Concepts Football Podcast. Jeremiah and myself are going to bring you some news from the AFC West. And Eric Berry, safety for the Kansas City Chiefs, as well as a July 15th deadline looms. There's one other big name outside the city of Denver that's trying to sign a long-term contract, and that is Eric Berry. So he addressed his contract situation at his youth football camp in Kansas City, and he admitted that he's a bit surprised that negotiations haven't advanced more, quoting, I thought it would progress a little bit more, since it's still been pretty much the same since the last time we talked. A lot can change in a week, and a lot can change for whenever the deadline is. So that was the 9th. So again, we're sitting here at the 11th. They have 4 days for this. If Berry and the Chiefs aren't able to get a deal done, don't be surprised if a holdout ensues. The safety is due for a pretty big payday, having made 3 more Pro Bowls and the same amount of Pro Bowl selections as the highest paid safety in the league, Harrison Smith of the Minnesota Vikings. So I think personally he's definitely done for a deal. And to answer your question, it's 4 p.m. Eastern time on July 15th.
Okay, 4
Your
p.m.
question
Eastern,
before
so
the break.
It's 1 o'clock our time, Pacific.
Yeah. Or else he will play the season under the 10.8, a little bit lower, because they average out, the average contract of the players through the league. $10.8 million franchise tender. What do you think is going to go on with this?
I think he's more likely to get the deal maybe today or Wednesday, whenever. I think his deal is more likely to get done than Von Miller's, honestly. That's just me.
I do too.
Yeah. That's just me. And I don't know if he's going to get paid more than Harrison Smith, who is the highest paid safety in the league, like you said. Mm-hmm. Even though he has done a little bit quite more than Harrison Smith has.
In a sense, yeah.
Yeah. And don't forget, Berry was a key part of the Chiefs' defense when they came back from a 5-1 season to start.
1-5 season.
That's what I said. They came
5-1.
Did I say 5-1? No, I said 1-5.
Either way. Either way.
Okay, they're 5-1, the opposite direction. 1-5 before winning 11 straight games to make the playoffs. And he had a really good year last year. 61 tackles, deflected 10 passes, and 2 INTs in last season. Mm-hmm. He did earn the Pro Bowl and comeback player of the year after coming back from Hodgkins. That's
pretty good.
Lymphoma. Okay. Thank you. That's really all right.
You're welcome, man. You're welcome.
All right. So yeah, I think his deals are going to be more likely to happen.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. I don't know how much money he's asking for though.
No idea. They'll probably. I'm sure that they'll be in the conversation about getting more money than Harrison. I'm sure that'll be a thing. So it'll be interesting to see. I think, I would. If I had to bet, I would say more likely that deal would get done than say, Von Miller's.
Yeah, it could probably happen today when we're off the air. It could probably happen Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be surprised if a deal doesn't get done for Eric Berry.
I mean, he deserves it. He really does. He played great last year, coming off of cancer in a sense almost. He
literally fought for his life.
He didn't skip a beat.
Yeah, he literally fought for his life and played like he hadn't missed a beat. He produced like he had before he was diagnosed with cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
he's always been one of my favorite players.
Yeah, ever since he came to the league, even when he was
Tennessee,
even when he was in college, he was really fun to watch too.
Yeah. It was him and I think the same year as him and
Earl Thomas.
right?
Yeah.
I don't know who's been more like valuable to their team, because you see what happens to the defense for both of those teams. Not so much Thomas; he's always in there, but like when you see Barry gone, you see what really happens to that defense.
Yeah.
I think he's. I really like the way he plays.
I
honestly.
just think Thomas is around more
skilled,
more productive players in the secondary.
Hey, they're building a defense over there in Kansas City.
No, they are. But I think
Marcus
when you compare their careers as to this point,
he's had more to work.
He's had more worked with, and he's played in 2 Super Bowls as well. So, but I do think I do agree they're building a really good secondary there in KC.
Yeah, they have Marcus Peters, reigning Defensive Rookie of the Year. They have those great linebackers. Don Terry Poe there in the middle at the nose tackle. Just some good key players. They could probably add another corner now that Brandon Flowers is gone again. Sean Smith, I think, is gone again also.
I think Sean Smith did leave.
Maybe Brandon Flowers is back, but Sean Smith is gone. Because isn't Sean Smith, he went to the Raiders.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm confusing the two. But so Sean Smith gone, but Brandon Flowers maybe still there. But they could probably do with another corner. I don't know who plays opposite safety of Barry. Off the top of my head, I forget. But they are building a pretty solid defense there. And whenever you have the rushers like Tamba Hali and Justice Houston, man. Oh, and even that make a case for Dom Terry too. Don Terry Poe's not a bad rusher.
Yeah,
it's not his job.
He's probably one of the most underrated players in the NFL.
Yeah, it's not that nose tackles often are.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. When Casey Hampton was the big nose tackle anchor of the Steelers defense, he didn't get all the notoriety, even though he did get more sacks than most nose tackles. Go ahead.
Brandon Flowers actually plays for the San Diego Chargers now.
Oh, that's right. He left the Chiefs and went to the Chargers. They actually don't have either.
Yeah. So they need Eric Berry now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they'd happen to just, draft a pretty solid corner.
Do you see him getting more money than Harrison Smith?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it happened personally. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't sit here like, well, that's crazy, I would be like, well, okay. Yeah, I really wouldn't be surprised.
That's crazy. No, I'm kidding. I would have been like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That was a real awkward pause. I was literally alone for like 2 seconds.
Well, you said some silly stuff.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm just like I'm the color commentary of the show. I think. I don't know. Whatever.
In a sense.
Whatever. Yeah.
Well, we're going to take one last quick break, and then it's a little shorter of a show today, and we're going to get to a little bit of quarterback news. Always my favorite kind of news. So we will be right back here at the Golden State Media Concepts Football Podcast. And Jeremiah and I will introduce the last story of the day, you guys. Don't go anywhere.
Do you want to be healthier, yet you just don't know what to do? All these shows telling you this and that, but nothing seems to work. Well, listen close. Golden State Media Concepts has got something great for you. The Health and Wellness Podcast dedicated to workout trends, healthy eating habits, diet, and everything about healthy living. Join us in our banters as we help you not just live life to the fullest, but live it to the healthiest.
Welcome back to the Golden State Media Concepts Football Podcast, and we're going to get into some quarterback news right now.
It's my favorite kind of news.
Yes. Oakland Raiders quarterback, Derek Carr. There's some comments made about him from a former Gunslinger.
Well, the original comment was made by Michael Crabtree calling him a gunslinger.
Okay. So Michael Crabtree called Derek Carr a gunslinger, but arguably the best gunslinger of all time, Brett Favre, has some comments about the young Raiders quarterback when he was at a Giants game.
Crabtree compared him to the likes of Brett Favre in terms of a gunslinger.
Yeah, so Brett Favre was at the Giants game I don't know what day, but he was there over the weekend. Last weekend, last week, talking to CSN Bay Area's Amy Gutierrez, who is also known as Amy G, to the local fans there. And then he was, this is what he said. He was like, I think he's done a tremendous job with Oakland, and I like the way he plays. But again, I think he's more polished, as I would say. But I like him. Watching him, good player. So, So
he says he doesn't know if he considers him a gunslinger because he thinks he's more polished.
Yeah,
than
exactly.
Brett
And
was.
I kind of do agree with that a little bit. I think Derek Carr is a little bit more polished. Coming to the league than Brett Favre did.
Well, yeah, Brett spent like his first 5 years. He didn't watch film.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you can't do that anymore. In the
You
way,
can't.
with that
You
way
can't,
NFL
no.
is
The way,
now.
No,
you can't avoid film.
No,
but
you can't.
I don't know. I definitely get the idea what he means by that. I mean, there's not many gunslingers left in the league. You have Rodgers, you have Roethlisberger, you have.
Can you consider Flacco, Joe Flacco, as a gunslinger?
In a sense,
yeah?
the way he throws the ball, yeah, I could call him a gunslinger.
You could probably even say Colin Kaepernick is a gunslinger, even though
Nope.
Well, okay, when he was successful, he will.
Maybe. The way I describe gunslingers is like Rodgers or Roethlisberger, or we can go back to Favre. Flacco in a sense, but not as much as the other guys, where they really extend the play in a sense and then make something out of nothing with their arm, you know? And they have the arm strong enough to do so. Favre had an arm that was as strong as anybody's when he was playing in the league, you know? Even when he came back that first year of the Vikings, I knew his arm was just fine that play. The last play of the game, long touchdown pass to Greg Lewis to beat the San Francisco 49ers.
Oh my gosh, dude! Don't bring me back. Don't bring me back. To that.
Pinpoint accuracy.
Oh
I was like, oh
dude.
my god, this old man just threw a laser. So, I mean,
I was like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my gosh.
yeah, exactly. Definition of a gunslinger was Brett Favre. You know, Rodgers is definitely a gunslinger. Roethlisberger's a gunslinger. Flacco, maybe, yeah,
But
for the most part.
Going back to that Minnesota Vikings play against the 49ers.
What about it?
I remember
Bitter boy.
No, because, as some of you guys know, I grew up as a San Francisco 49ers fan, and I think I was still in high school when this happened. So, obviously, I was a different person back then. Dude, yeah, that was a really good game, too. And I when he threw that touchdown to Greg Lewis,
I was psyched. I was like, whoa.
I'm not going to lie, though. I was...
You cry? Did you cry?
No, oh, my God, don't make me do this. No, I'm kidding. No, but I was mad, but you know what? I realized that, I just probably watched one of the greatest plays that year.
Oh, yeah.
And not only that, it's still talked about to this day. So,
I'm
not that bitter about it. So,
I hope not. I hope you didn't cry or anything.
No, I didn't cry.
Did you cry, Jeremiah? Did you cry?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't, Alex. No. Stop making fun of me.
That was you and I had completely opposite plethora, like spectrums of emotion that year when our teams played, because the Steelers were the first team to beat the Vikings that year.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Even though that was the year that Adrian Peterson ran over and then put his foot on William Gay's chest.
Yes,
and
I remember
literally
that, yeah.
ran over him.
Yeah.
They didn't lose that game.
I remember that. Yeah.
That's 2010, right?
2010. Yes.
On the way to the Super Bowl loss.
They
lost to the
Pittsburgh?
Vikings. Yeah.
Or Vikings?
I'm sorry. They lost to the
they lost,
Packers.
Yeah, in the NFC Championship. Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the Steelers on the way to the Super Bowl. They lost to the Packers in the Super Bowl.
Yes. Okay, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I was confused by the way you said that.
I fumbled the words a bit. Boom.
Yeah, you did.
Football play.
All right. But anyways,
Boom.
getting back to Derek Carr, do you think what are your thoughts about him coming into this year?
I think he's gonna have a good year.
You think so? Do you think he's like kind of overhyped? Do you think he's kind of overrated?
No,
underrated?
I think he's not under. I think he's kind of he's talked about the way he should be. He's not overrated. He's not underrated. I think he's set up to have a good year. I think he's talked about like he should be. You know what I mean? He's not underrated by any means. He might be people that don't think he's that good, or as good as he is in that sense. If you mean underrated, but I think. He gets credit for what he does, I think. Personally.
Okay. And you said you had a question for me.
I was going to ask you who were some of your favorite gunslingers of all time.
Oh, okay. Well, I think we kind of covered it. Well, obviously Brett Favre was fun to watch.
Mm-hmm. Definitely consider Steve Young a gunslinger.
Yes. You know what? Steve Young, I don't think he gets enough credit for being a gunslinger. Honestly, he was
one of the best dual threat quarterbacks of all time, purely based off the fact that he also had a good arm, as a lot of the dual threat quarterbacks don't.
People then don't really talk about his arm a lot. Honestly,
my number one left-handed quarterback of all time.
Oh yeah, definitely, hands down. He's probably
Steve Young, Kenny Stabler. Mike
okay, Vick. You know how we were talking about the our favorites or like our top. Mm-hmm. Well, when you're talking about my favorites, he's probably the second favorite on my list
of gunslingers.
Probably of quarterbacks to watch.
Young was fun to watch.
Yeah.
My left-handed quarterbacks, I go Young, Stabler, Vick. But gunslingers, Favre, Young, Roethlisberger's obviously going to be up there. A lot of people consider Staubach as a gunslinger.
Roger Staubach
back in the day.
Yeah.
A lot of people considered Warren Moon near the end of his career, kind of the way he threw the ball. He was a little bit of a gunslinger. I like the way that Rodgers obviously plays. He's always really fun to watch.
He always finds ways to hit the ball downfield. Always.
You know who is a favorite of mine, Gunslinger? Just the way he played the mentality?
Who?
Doug Flutie.
Yes, Doug Flutie. Yes, especially in that amazing Boston College play.
The Hail Mary?
Yeah, the Hail Mary,
That was the start of the Flutie legend.
Yes, that was the start, yes.
Whew, man. Yeah, Doug Flutie's fun to watch. But yeah, just a few. Just thought I'd ask a few of your favorites.
That was good. I'm glad you asked.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
All right, well, hey, we're done for the day. We won't be back until Wednesday.
Yes.
But we're done. So, as always, Jeremiah, where can they find us?
They can find us on Twitter at GSMC_football, as well as on Twitter at the same handle. You can like us on Facebook. You can also listen to our podcast on Facebook, too, I think, also.
The video, I think, should go up. YouTube also.
Okay, well, don't forget to like our Facebook page at GSMC Football Podcast, as well as on GSMCpodcast.com. You can listen to our show, our other shows that we do. I do the baseball show. Alex does the soccer and sports show.
Yes.
Yes, and there's all kinds of other shows for you guys to watch.
Mm-hmm. They're pretty rad.
And you can find us for new episodes Monday through Thursday on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, SoundCloud.
Boom.
YouTube.
Yep.
Yes.
I forgot YouTube and Facebook last time.
Am I forgetting anything?
I think you're good. Man.
Okay.
I think you nailed it.
Thanks.
I think you got it.
Thanks. I got it, dude. All right.
Well, as always, we'd like to thank you guys for listening. I am Alex.
And I'm Jeremiah.
And we will see you guys on our next episode.
Yes.
Thanks, guys.
Be there or be square.
Be there or be a hard rectangle. Just really cut off edges.
All right, guys.
All right,
we're leaving off on that note.
Yeah, on that note, thank you as always.
I can't top that.
There's no way you can. All right, bye, guys.